Yes Have Some podcast is brought to you by Carnivorous Creations, your one-stop shop for all of your Proton Pack building needs. If you're in the market for a Proton Pack, head to carnivorouscreations.com. That's carnivorous with a K. You're going to find aluminum motherboards, resin parts, fiberglass shells, and a whole lot more. Find them on Facebook at Carnivorous Creations or head straight to carnivorouscreations.com, remember carnivorous with a K, and get started on an authentic, screen-accurate Proton Pack.
Do you want some coffee, Mr. Tully?
Do I?
Yes, have some.
Yes, have some.
We got one!
It's time for another episode of Yes Have Some podcast.
Look at, I'm in really bad shape. Come on, please, please.
Your weekly pop culture therapy session.
Give me. I need.
Subscribe on iTunes by searching for Yes Have Some in the iTunes store or find us on Facebook at facebook.com/YesHaveSomeCast.
Sick vandalism. That is a deliberate mutilation of a public service message.
And now, hold on to your butts and get ready to get stressed with your hosts, Craig Goldberg, Abigail Gardner, and Jacob Walsh.
We're mutants. There's something wrong with us. Something very, very wrong with us.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, we want Pogs
Yeah.
and a slammer.
Bring them back.
Bring back the Pogs.
What is your new fads? I want old fads.
We want old fads. We want Beanie
Pet
Babies.
Rocks. Beanie Babies.
Fogs? Frogs? Pogs. We're just getting started here. So here's the situation. Comic-Con was last week. I did see... So remember when we were at Star Wars Celebration and you would get on social media and you would see the people who were not at Star Wars Celebration complaining about Star Wars Celebration and talking about how happy they were that they weren't there?
Yeah.
I saw a little bit of that with Comic-Con. People being like, who wants to deal with the crowds? Who wants to be in line? Like, you know... Fuck you, right?
Right.
Who would not want to be? If you like comics, TV, movies, toys, you want to be at San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, even if you don't necessarily like being around a bunch of people.
Hey, real quick.
Hey, are we about to have a special guest on the podcast?
Jake just left. He's getting a pizza
Jake's
right
getting
now.
a pizza.
Jake is...
First of all, can we talk about the controversy over whether the lights were on or off when the pizza
Jake had his lights on to wait for the pizza
but
guy.
They left an annoying humming noise, which made me feel like I had tinnitus, like Baby Driver, so I was going to have to put headphones in.
So, Jake won't be answering any of the questions we ask him right now, but that's okay. So,
He's
Abigail,
got a pizza.
Comic-Con.
Yeah.
You followed it?
Yeah, I follow it. I got the teardrop from, the image that for Comic-Con. They have, the also image that people post when it's on the tear.
Oh, yeah.
You're sad that you're not there?
I'm sad I'm not there.
It's very sad.
It's okay, though.
It's stressful because you, have constant... our Yes Have Some group therapy group was basically keeping me abreast of all the information because there's so many things popping up.
So much.
Thank you to them for all the posts.
Thank you to them.
Thank you to the pizza delivery man.
I wonder what kind of pizza
for
Jake
not
got.
Being late.
God, there's just something going on over there. We're not cutting any of this out.
Nothing's getting cut.
We just...
Dude, we kept it
I just
rolling.
disappeared.
Yeah. I thought...
You carried it.
Listen, I know you were getting a pizza, and you told us that you were going to get a pizza, but for a second I forgot and thought maybe you got, raptured, like Kirk Cameron style.
The rapture doesn't
I would just be the one to
The
disappear.
rapture doesn't ring the bell. You hear a trumpet sound from heaven, and then you are just wham bam up there. I know all about it.
It just happens like
Kirk Cameron. Yeah, guys, I've seen it. The Left Behind books.
I'll be left behind for sure. I'll be eating that pizza with Jake.
Dude, I've seen. Yeah.
Cool. So we're gonna be talking about Comic-Con.
Yeah.
We got a lot to cover, a lot of ground. I think we should probably just get into it. I know we all got some stress. Not a whole lot of housekeeping this week, other than we're getting ready for PKE Surge. It's con season. We got costumes going. We've got toys to buy.
Do we have costumes going? I keep trying to start costumes, and they keep stopping and, falling apart in the middle of it and, breaking my appliances. So...
You should tell that story real quick.
Yeah, I'm trying to do a Ghostbusters 2 flight suit, and my plan was to just, repurpose a suit I already had, which was a black True Spec flight suit. It's a kid's youth large, which, side note, they discontinued the youth sizes for the True Spec suits, so it's very hard to find another one. So I got that suit out of the closet, I ripped the patches off of it, and in the process of ripping the patches, I ripped the suit, so I can't use it. So I had to go out to Army Navy stores over the last couple days, and I found a Rothko flight suit, which is it's fine. It's Rothko.
It's black. You're fine.
Black. The khaki Rothko suit has it's a little questionable when it
Looks
comes to
like,
color and
pea.
screen active. Yeah,
Looks like pea.
It's got like a weird pea color to it. So the black one's fine though.
You're dyeing the suit.
Dyeing the suit. It's not going so hot.
And the washing machine broke.
Well, first of all, it's like you have to strip the color out of it first. So we did the stripping process and had to bleach it like 2 or 3 times, and it gets like a brownish color. And then you add like a blue RIT dye to it, basically, and you have to heat the water. And it's just a whole process. And I washed and rewashed and like bleached the suit so many times that I ended up like breaking my washing machine. So I had to go to like the laundromat today, and it's still not the right color. So it's like an ongoing process.
So now you have a suit that's the wrong color and a broken appliance.
Yeah, but I had a great time with the laundromat. So,
there you go.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you for that update.
There's a lot of fun. I actually like being there. Yeah.
And before we go forward, Jake, what kind of pizza did you get?
Yeah. There's I got some pineapple on there, some mushrooms, olives, did some green peppers on there. Some veggies, some olives maybe. I can't remember what all's on
You're
there.
speaking my language. I like pineapple black olive pizza.
No cheese, right?
Yeah. No cheese. There's no cheese on it.
Wow.
Pizza never cheese.
Now, does Papa John's have a vegan crust already? Or is it like a special crust?
Yeah, they have 2. Yeah, the regular pizza, and they have like a pan.
I got you.
And they're both good.
That's my
cool.
Papa.
So now
you just can't have the thin crust. The thin crust is not vegan.
Cool. So we've got a broken washing machine, a vegan pizza, and it's time to get stressed.
You look a little stressed.
Is this some radical new therapy?
Why don't you do something with your life?
Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
Man, we got a lot going on. I think this whole episode, it's kind of like last week. It was just all stress. This week will also be all stress. But we got some specialized, personalized things that we're dealing with here. And I think Jake probably wants to kick us off because earlier this week he called me and he started stressing out. I was like, dude, we got to press the record button. Save it
for the podcast.
You're giving me gold here.
Dude, we say that all the time.
We don't even talk sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, save it.
We're edging.
Keep
it.
Just don't
talk.
Back.
Yeah. Don't blow it.
Did you say we're edging?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're edging all week. And now we're going to blow.
Yeah.
God damn it.
It's going to be good.
Not blow, but like blow.
That's a blow pop.
That, like a sucker.
Yeah.
I should stop talking. Jake, what's up, man? What's got you stressed?
You guys were with me. This was, I don't know, a couple years ago, maybe at this point. The 3 of us went to a screening of Jaws down in Florida, which Richard Dreyfus attended, and he did a Q&A, and it was really cool. It was fun. I paid for the VIP experience at that, which was basically just a meet and greet at the end of the show, which was cool. Got to meet Richard Dreyfus. I got to get a picture with him.
Yeah.
But the thing that sucked about it is that he wasn't doing autographs. Even for the people who paid the extra amount for the meet and greet, he wouldn't do autographs. So I remember I was always kind of bummed about it. So fast forward to a week ago when all of a sudden Spooky Empire, which is a horror convention in Florida, announced Richard Dreyfus is going to be there, which is crazy because he doesn't really do that kind of stuff. And he actually, there's this convention thing that's in Hollywood every year, and he was at that a couple weeks ago. And I remember being like, look at fucking Richard Dreyfus over here signing autographs for $50 a piece, but he couldn't do it when we paid $250 for a VIP thing. And I was like, what's happening? But now he's going to be in Florida.
Yeah.
He's going to be at Spooky, and I think we're all probably going to go.
Oh, we're going.
Oh, we have to.
I want that autograph. And now I'm like, do I dress as Quint?
Yes.
Do I go in a normal thing, or should I do the Quint thing and show up in front of Richard Dreyfus dressed as Quint?
Well, so people maybe who've listened to the podcast have seen pictures from us at DragonCon a couple years ago. Jake does a really good Quint costume.
Yes.
It's very good.
It's too good.
It is too good. It's too good.
Is it too good?
Yeah. It's too good to be worn, dude.
Yeah. You don't want to scare Richard Dreyfus. He's old. You don't want him to think he's seeing ghosts or anything.
No, I think you definitely should.
No, dude, you have to because like so.
I think it's awesome that he's going to be there too.
It's awesome that he's doing the signing. It's awesome he's going to do pictures. It's cool that he's doing a convention. He doesn't do a lot of them. Jake, what's your favorite movie of all time?
It's Jaws.
Who's your favorite actor in that movie?
Robert Shaw.
Yeah.
All right, exactly.
Right,
That's what I wanted you to say.
Yes.
Who? We're gonna go down a whole list. Who's your second favorite actor in that movie?
Okay.
If this fucking guy says Roy Scheider, if he says Roy Scheider, I'm gonna
right?
Yeah, they're all great. All the people in Jaws are equally great. Even the mayor.
Yes.
Right. You got it. It's a once in a lifetime chance.
Yeah.
And
dude, if you ask him a question that he doesn't know the answer to, you get $20.
Oh
so
yeah, he does that
right
thing.
There. It like pays for the trip.
I was wondering, like, you know, I didn't do it at the VIP thing because I was like, would it be weird? Like, is he gonna think I'm weird if I show up dressed like Quint? And then like,
dude,
I don't know.
Weird.
Richard,
like, you're fine.
Richard Dreyfus also. He has like he has a history for like talking shit about Jaws and Quint, and he tries to get away from that now, and he'll tell you, you know, if you hear him talk, he talked about this at the thing. He talks about how much he loved Robert Shaw and how it, you know, there was never a real feud and that all that kind of stuff was kind of blown out of proportion.
Pissing on a grave or something like that.
There's all kinds of weird rumors and shit,
gotcha.
but like, and no one knows for sure, but it's just like, how weird would it be to show up as Quint? It's like, first of all, you think it might be weird, but then also it could be amazing because like, think of the picture I could get, you know, like think of getting a picture with, you know, Dreyfus with me dressed as Quint. It would just be cool. Like, and I've met him once, not in the costume. I don't think I could pass up doing it again.
It was like your Judge Reinhold experience.
Yeah, it's cool to do like a
right.
Judge Reinhold, if you think about it, is the Richard Dreyfus of nothing, but of Fast Times at Ridgemont High. You could go dressed as a pissed on gravestone.
Yeah. That's it.
You go. No, what if Jake just walked in dressed as Quint, holding a gravestone,
like out of the grave?
Yeah, zombie Quint holding a gravestone that says, "Here lies Robert Shaw," with like piss stains all over it, and then you just
like a little towel.
None of this.
You did this to me.
You did this to me. Y'all know me.
No, but that's
y'all know how I got pissed on.
So,
dude.
So getting the chance to meet him again. Actually get something signed this time. I got to decide exactly what I want signed. If maybe I might want more than one thing signed. And I'm going to shave my beard and I'm going to do the Quint thing. I'm going to pull that back. I haven't done that costume in like 2 years. I skipped it last year at Dragon Con.
Yeah.
But I'm going to pull it back out. And then it's making me think like maybe I should pull it out for this Dragon Con. Like,
yeah.
Little test run.
Why not go ahead and pull it, do it again? So I don't know. We'll see.
Well, a couple things of note here. I wonder if one of the reasons he's doing conventions is that they're re-releasing Close Encounters in 4K transfer in October this year in theaters.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably just coincidence. But Richard Dreyfus, well, Jaws is one of my favorite movies. Mm-hmm. I think all of us have an equal love for Jaws. But not arguably one of my probably, besides Ghostbusters, my favorite comedy of all time is What About Bob?
Mm-hmm.
Very good movie.
Richard Dreyfuss is obviously in that, and his character, Leo Marvin, I mean, that's one of the great, like, unintentionally, funny performances of all time. Mm-hmm. Like, he's the cranky straight man in that movie, and Bill Murray is the fucking wacko. And I laugh.
But the reality is the reverse, and that's like the genius of the movie.
It really is a special.
Like, the entire time.
Yeah, you see, like, What About Bob's not different from The Shining in the fact that you see a systematic mental breakdown of this guy throughout the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So much so that he's literally trying to. It's a comedy. Like, it's kind of dark. If you've never seen What About Bob, it is a comedy. Spoiler alert. Richard Dreyfuss tries to blow Bill Murray up at the end of that movie.
Death therapy, yeah.
He
tries
puts
to kill him, man.
Literally
genius
TNT around his neck. So I cannot wait to meet Richard Dreyfuss. I cannot wait to get his autograph. I cannot wait to ask him I meant to ask him this when we went to the Q&A, and it just slipped my mind. There was all these stories of him having issues with Robert Shaw, like Jake just said. There's also stories of him having a lot of tension with Bill Murray on the set of What About Bob, which doesn't seem very far-fetched.
Yeah.
So much so that I've seen in an interview where Richard Dreyfus, he said that filming What About Bob was an extremely unpleasant experience. And he cannot stand Bill Murray. And it makes him even more mad because he finds Bill Murray so funny that even though he hates him, he still laughs at everything he does.
Yeah.
How insane is
That's gonna
that?
be frustrating.
That's
So that's what you're choosing to bring up.
Yes.
You're gonna
Definitely.
be like, hey, let's talk about something you don't like talking about.
And right after that, Jake's Crave Piss costume will be
Yes,
awesome.
yes. Right when I get done with him. All right, we have a.
I'm going to track Linda Blair down, and I'm going to do my Pazuzu statue signing. It's going to be great. We're all going to get shit on.
Seriously, as soon as I get done with
I
Richard
hope
Dreyfus.
Richard Dreyfus punches me.
No, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to go up
find
to
Edward Furlong
right.
in my John Connor costume. Like, where the fuck were you, like, 5 years ago, dude?
I'm going to go up to Richard Dreyfus. I'm going to ask him about Bill Murray. Him and me are going to have words. And as soon as he's done with me and he's completely flustered and he's like, get him out of here. Here comes here comes Quint walking down the aisle.
What it's gonna be is they're finally gonna get you out of the way, and then once you're gone, he's just gonna see that across the room I'm sitting in a chair eating a cracker, just like staring at him.
That's great.
You should be like,
there's a chalkboard, but instead of a shark, I drew Richard Dreyfus on it.
Ooh, I just want to carry a chalkboard and do that to get everyone's attention. We're gonna be the three most annoying people to Richard Dreyfus ever. I can't wait.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's the plan.
You're gonna be like, I value my autograph a lot more than $50, Mr. Dreyfus.
Oh my god.
I love my botched Quint quotes. I do them
know.
every week.
You just go with them.
Good
like
fun.
I backed out, so I'm like,
good.
I'm not sure if I know if this is correct or not. And Craig just
go
jumps
with
in
it.
and does it, and I like it. It's good.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get the opportunity to, I don't know, open up a shark right in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
Just cut a shark open.
Tiger shark, yeah.
What, eat a car?
A smaller one.
Oh, God. It's going to be
maybe
fun.
we can get him to record a bumper for the show or something.
Yeah.
God.
Holy
shit.
That would be great.
Yes, have some podcast. Listening audience, what should Richard Dreyfus say?
Yeah, you
as a
submit
bumper?
your ideas.
What would you guys want him to say? Like,
God, I don't know.
All right, group therapy. Open it up. Let's talk about
this
it.
would take some
Let's
thinking.
drop the red meat. Let's get it.
well, what I'm going to tell him is like, we podcast on a couch, and the therapist that you played in What About Bob inspired me to be completely stressed out and anxiety-ridden my entire life.
Dude, I baby step through every single day. That's
There
how I
you go.
deal with the stress.
So cool. Well, Jake, what else, man? I mean, that's all joking aside. That's really exciting. Like, anytime you meet a literal hero, they say don't meet your heroes, but we're constantly trying to.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and I've met him
I've been a
before,
living
so
right.
it's like
Right.
I feel better about a second run-in with Richard Dreyfus, and like even when we
A
saw
run-in.
Richard Dreyfus the first time, I thought
A paid
I
encounter.
was like I had no idea. I had no idea what it was going to be like
encounter?
because he's kind of known. He's like kind of known for being grumpy.
A little
Yeah.
cranky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but he was very much the opposite of that at the Q&A. He was really pleasant and he was funny and he sang and like he was super nice. And I just hope it's that same Richard Dreyfus that we run into.
Yeah.
Well,
Dude,
I mean,
super jovial. I remember watching you from the window
Yeah.
at that event. And I was like, man, I want to be in there.
I wanna be in
I'm
there.
on the outside. I'm looking in. Jake's getting his Richard Dreyfus auto.
you're like Aaron
Well,
Lewis
not really,
from
though.
Stained.
Yes, that's exactly what.
Uh,
I had the guitar out, dude.
see those lighters?
I had it. Yes.
Uh,
Get him up.
So, we're going to meet Richard Dreyfus. Going to get some autographs. We're going to, open invite. Maybe he'll come on the podcast. That'd
Maybe
be
he'll come on
fun.
the pod couch.
What if he talked about civics the entire time? That's what he's all about.
I hope so.
Yeah,
Like,
that'd be great.
their civic duty. I love it.
Dude, I don't know. Talk about Mr. Holland's Opus with him, maybe.
Just mispronounced. So tell us about Mr. Holland's Orifice.
Mr. Holland Orpheus.
Mr. Holland's Orpheus.
Yeah, what was that about?
Oh.
Hey, we'll get him. We're a bunch of jovial radio jocks over here.
Shock jock. Whoa, me so horny. Sorry, guys. Thank you.
Say that to Richard.
I'm not.
Cool. So Jake's going to figure out what he's going to get signed by Richard Dreyfus. You got a lot of options. I'm going to get a Baby Steps book signed.
Yeah.
I'm just going to bring my barrel.
I'm going to get a bust. The What About Bob bust.
The
rifle. I'm going to ask him which one he thinks he should sign.
Oh my God. I literally am about to stop this recording just to watch What About Bob. It's going to be more enjoyable than being stressed out about Ghostbusters and Stranger Things for the next hour.
Absolutely.
Well, cool, Jake. Well, what else, man?
No, I mean,
that's
it, dude.
That's all you can.
It. That's the only stress in my life.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Besides all this Comic-Con stuff.
Dude, I bet you're stressed about the same thing I'm stressed about, though.
What's your stress? You got some?
Dude, I'm stressed about those sirens. No, I'm stressed because the new trailer for It's going to be dropping at some point tomorrow, and I don't know when.
God.
By the time we release this, the It trailer will be out.
Dude, yeah, exactly.
So
By the
future
time
you is already enjoying it.
Dude, future me is already watching it, raving about it, writing something about it. Like,
should we call future you and see what you think?
I'm going to be like, guys, Pennywise's laugh was legitimately scary. They actually did play his laugh like in one of those little teaser trailers, which they've been dropping
on Instagram.
Yeah, on Instagram, and it's just like driving me crazy. So,
little teases.
Dude, yeah, and all that San Diego Comic-Con stuff. Like, there's interviews and stuff with the kids, the cast.
Those kids are great.
Dude, yeah, their energy and I posted in I have some group therapy today actually. The like flirtation between Bev and Stan, like you can just it's like palpable. Like the fact that Bev's Sophia Lillis is the actress.
Sophia Loren.
No. Dude, she's awesome. Like she's literally the lock screen on my phone, which I've been like telling people like it's a big deal. I feel like nobody really cares, but like it is a big deal when I put a picture on my phone as the background. Like it's something that's inspirational to me. It's
that's kind of like your wearing your high school boyfriend's ring.
The ring or the varsity jacket or like I don't fucking know about that shit. But, I live for the hype. Like I'm excited about this and I don't want to get my hopes up too high because like we just did in our last episode where we kind of talked about the build up to Ghostbusters Answer the Call and then the fallout from it. There is a little part of me that's also nervous about watching this next trailer because I'm like, it is so good that what if there's like a crack in like a little chink in the armor? Like, what if I see something that doesn't agree with me? What if I see too much of something? I don't know. But what I keep coming back to is like, I'm so fucking thrilled for this. And I do have so much confidence in like watching the cast interacting with the director from San Diego Comic-Con and all that footage that's come out. Like they seem to all really like each other and they seem like a real group of friends and
you're invested into
I'm all about the characters and also it looks scary as fuck, which is the other thing. And like Joe Hill, Stephen King's son, came out and said that it was terrifying and like also humane at the same time, which is what the book is. And it's such a behemoth and like massive book and there's so much to it. Also the fact that the sequel's definitely happening, like that's exciting. I'm super pumped about that, but there's like so much to stress about because now I want to do that Georgie costume. And I saw an image of somebody who did that costume at Comic-Con and I was like, dude, that looks so good and it's so easy. So don't worry, now I'm just going to get like another bunch of shit for another costume that I'm tacking on for Dragon Con. But
well, so you bring up an interesting point. And
it's a lot of stress.
It's a lot of stress. We talked about this a lot. So getting hyped up for a movie, like we dealt with this last year, the hype train for Ghostbusters Answer the Call. I think it's
risky.
It's risky. It's safe to say that the build-up to Stephen King's It is extremely important for both of you. Not as much for me. I'm into it. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. You guys are invested almost to the level you were with Ghostbusters, correct?
Yeah.
So, knowing, like, strip away the fact that this movie is probably going to be amazing, but knowing that we got a little bit burned in the past with that level of hype, do you allow yourself to kind of like take a stance of like, I'm going to wait and see, I'm going to try not to freak out too much.
It's like I'm going to self-sabotage something that's going really well, like the beginnings of a really good new relationship. And I'm like, it's almost too good to be true. Like everything about this that I've gotten is I'm not like lying to myself in any way. Like there's no like, oh well, it could be okay. Like with Answer the Call, there were a few things right off the bat like that irked me or that made me a little bit worried. but nothing thus far with this film, so I couldn't be any more excited.
You know, I'm super excited to see it, and like, yeah, everything, you know, most everything I've seen so far has just made me more excited. I do have some worries, you know, about just like about changes that they're going to make. You know, there are some things in the trailers that, you know, aren't in the book or aren't in the miniseries. So there are things that they're adding in that's new stuff.
Yeah.
And that does worry me a little bit because, you know, the book is, you know, 1,200 pages long. Why do we need to make up new stuff? Like, why can't we just use stuff from the material? But I mean, I see them wanting it to be their own kind of thing.
Right, change
but,
stuff, yeah.
But it's just like, you know, there are things in my mind that I am worried about. It's not like I'm not going in this blindly. Like I feel like I probably will like it no matter what, even with the changes. Like it's exciting to see something you love so much and it's being treated almost like more seriously. Yeah, more seriously
Somber,
than the miniseries was. It's already closer to the book in so many ways. You know, you could tell that it's got more of that tone to it. You can tell that it's probably going to be pretty scary.
Yeah. Didn't the director come out just saying this week that like he wasn't that big a fan of the miniseries and that it wasn't?
I mean, he was. I think he was more saying about how it's not scary. I mean, it's not real. There's some scary stuff in it, but it was made for TV movie, and this book is not. There's some outrageously violent stuff happening.
Yeah, it's about the cycle of
book.
Abuse and like that kind of shit. And like you have real life stuff,
and
you have terrifying mind fuck stuff. So it's like all these all over the place.
It's a book about like children being murdered in really awful ways. So, and there's also, I mean, there's more to it than that, obviously, but
yeah, there's like deep.
It just doesn't translate well to like PG-13 TV.
Fuck no.
So, I'm excited about that. Like, I'm hoping that it's not I'm hoping that it's not this thing that happened with Answer the Call, where we go in, love it, and then kind of get embarrassed that we said we loved it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. So this movie has so much like people are.
Yeah, he's a real losers club, right?
Yeah, people are expecting this movie to be good. Like the expectation is this will be great. Everybody's excited. Like with something like Answer the Call, it was like half the people going, "It's going to be great." Half the people going, "This is the worst idea of all time." So
well, this movie isn't like proving ground for whether kids are funny or not. You know what I mean? Like it's not like you have all that.
That's going to be the review for the New York Times. Verdict's in. Kids are scared of a lot of shit, including clowns. Deal with it.
Scary. Deal with it.
Clowns are scary. Deal with it.
The deadlights are real. No.
So what's your fear? Like this movie's about tapping into their fears, right? So what's your biggest fear about this movie? What is something that going into it, and you can each answer this because I don't really have a horse in the race. Is that something people say? I don't have a dog in the show.
You don't have money in the game.
Yeah, I have money in this game.
Skin in the game.
Skin in the game.
Is that it?
I want to go with I don't have a horse in the race. What's something coming out of this movie? Not something from watching the trailer. By the way, we're already talking about Comic-Con stuff because it had a huge presence at Comic-Con. Yeah. What's something that could happen or not happen that if you come out of this movie you'll be bummed about? Like, man, I wish that they didn't do that, or I wish they would have done this.
I think that the way that they handle Beverly Marsh's character and her relationship with her dad is pretty important to me. I think Richie Tozier was probably like one. I go between them two as my favorite characters. I think Beverly's story is like extremely close to my heart because being the one girl amongst a group of guys is kind of like my life story. And I grew up hanging out with my brother and his friends and being the girl that, you know, I was a tomboy and I was like, there's so many things about Bev and like the way that she plays with the yo-yo and like yucks it up with the dudes and is misunderstood by adults and parents. And I really identify and really like her a lot. I really loved her character in the book. And I guess there is a lot of controversy with some of the things that happen, like to her in the book. We've already talked about that. We don't need to get all graphic and gross, which we love to do. But I'm nervous.
We'll leave that for the Ghostbusters.
I'm just stressed because I don't want it to be, it's such delicate source material that I really want it to be appropriate and pull on those strings and hit those notes, and I think it's a difficult thing to do, so I'm stressed about it.
Jake, before you answer, one thing, or if you're going to answer, if not, we can move on. But one thing that's interesting is that you kind of have two schools of thought going into this movie. You've got people who hold the Stephen King novel very close to their heart, right? The hardcore Stephen King fans, the people who've read it, who know it on an intimate level. Then you've got people who they just loved the miniseries, and that's it.
And then you've got Craig.
And then you've got me, who I just like a good clown story. Like I just wish he was nice. I just wish they were playing Bozo Buckets instead.
Bozo?
But I think it's different. I think the people who just loved the miniseries are like, oh my god, this is going to be awesome because this is going to be like, the new like 2017 horror version of what I loved as a kid. I think people who hold the book close to their heart might be a little bit more reserved because it's like, hey, miniseries is great, but that book is like a cherished, important part of my life, and like Abby just said, the source material is super delicate.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a fun point I wanted to make.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I really knocked it out of the park.
You did.
So
Jake, out of the park.
So Jake, same question to you. What?
Back to the countdown.
What are you scared? Do you have a fear about or hesitation?
I'm a little scared there might be too much. A little scared there might be too much Pennywise in it. Like Pennywise is barely in the first half of the book. Like he doesn't show up very often. Most of the time he's in the form of something else.
Right.
He takes the form of all these other monsters, and he's kind of barely in the book, at least until you get past the halfway point. And I am a little scared there might just be tons of Pennywise, and I'm also scared that they might do this thing that some horror movies like to do, where the creature or the possessed thing or the monster or whatever, they all talk like they're from The Exorcist. They all kind of sound the same.
Yeah.
They all curse a lot, and they just, they did it with like the Evil Dead remake. Like all those demons or whatever sounded like they were the
like
demon
a
from
Legion
The
voice.
Exorcist. And like it worked in The Exorcist, but like to do that every time, like it's just like they sound the same. Like it's just a little. I'd be bummed if Pennywise was like that. If he ended up. I don't want them to make up a whole bunch of weird Pennywise dialogue. Like if he's got dialogue, I'd prefer it be the stuff that's in the book.
Right.
I just imagine the movie comes out, Pennywise is in it for a very appropriate amount of time, and a bunch of people being like, "Man, the clown's barely in it. Where's that clown?"
Well, you're going to see him taking other forms, so I'm sure there's a lot that we haven't seen, obviously.
Yeah.
So.
Let's get into Comic-Con.
Craig.
What's up?
What's happening?
Hi.
Are you stressed?
I am.
Let's do it.
Let's get it.
I don't want to brag,
Thank
but
you, Jake.
guess who's going to be making a big comeback? Egon Spengler.
Whoa.
Oh.
I'm stressed out.
There's a sign that's like, Egon but not forgotten. And here comes Egon walking on the street like, I've got other plans for you, sir.
I'm busy.
Okay, let's talk about Comic-Con. All joking aside. Ghostbusters. There was a Ghostbusters panel at Comic-Con this year.
Yeah.
I don't think there's ever been a Ghostbusters panel at Comic-Con. Like, we have Ghostbusters panels at Dragon Con, which is usually us. So when the Ghostbusters panel is like, hey, who's the Ghostbusters panel at Comic-Con this year? Oh, it was Dan Schoening and Eric Burnham from IDW and Ivan Reitman.
Right.
Who did it at Dragon Con last year? Craig was up there. I think Abby was up there.
Yeah, they talked about a ghost blowjob.
Chase Ambrose. It was a big deal, man. They had Ivan Reitman out there, and so there was a lot of anticipation going into Comic-Con. Like, is there going to be an announcement? Are they going to talk about a new movie? Or we're going to hear about Ecto Force, the animated series? And I think we're all like
a lot of anticipation.
A lot of anticipation.
Yeah.
We're all cautiously optimistic. Like, yeah, they're probably going to talk about something, but we've been kind of burned before. We saw Ghostbusters Day this year where we're like, it's going to be announcements. We're going to do a live show. That it's going to be like crazy. And then the whole day goes by. And we do our show. There's not a whole lot to talk about.
Right.
Not a whole lot.
So it was different. They actually kind of announced some stuff this year and kind of implied other things. So real quick, let's talk about the announcements that were made. The things that were said at this panel that are concrete announcements we can go through quickly. One, the Answer the Call ladies are getting their own spin-off series. It's going to be a 5 or 6 issue arc from IDW. It's going to start this fall. Very cool.
Very cool.
They're not going anywhere.
It's like right around Halloween.
Right around Halloween.
Cool.
IDW is continuing after the Ghostbusters 101 miniseries with another a sequel to the Ghostbusters Ninja Turtles series that they did a couple years ago. So that's going to be another cool crossover. It's awesome that IDW, those comics have now been around for 5 or 6 years, and they're continuing to go. They're doing awesome work. So it's really cool that the IDW team is in such a good position to be able to keep going.
Yeah.
They're selling well, and IDW wants to keep making the comics because people are buying them, and they're good stories, and they're fun. And the new issue of Ghostbusters 101 just came out today. I haven't read it yet, but I'm sure it'll be good because the other ones were great. So the other thing, action figure news, Ninja Ghostbusters.
Oh, I saw them.
You saw them?
Dude, we've been asking, right? The world's been waiting.
For the first time ever.
Yeah, they're coming.
Ghostbusters.
They're not exactly what I
Ninja
expected.
Turtles have hair. It's good. They've got hairstyles, and it's fun, and it's different, and I like it.
So everyone
makes no sense.
Everyone who's listening. So the Ninja Turtles have a long history of crossover action figures, right? They talked about this on the crossover today. There's Star Trek Ninja Turtles. There's Universal Movie Monsters.
Why don't you do something with your life?
There's also Playmates Ninja Turtles figures over the years. Last year, Playmates put out all the WWE Ninja Turtles figures, and for the first time ever, we're getting Ghostbusters Ninja Turtles Mashup action figures. I have 2 questions for you, and these are 2 very separate questions. 1, do you like them? 2, will you be buying them?
Okay, the answers are, no and yes. There you go. Because I got them.
I like them, but I feel like I wish they were just Ninja Turtles in Ghostbuster costumes and not like a mashup of the characters.
Right. I will admit, it's a little weird.
But I'm still going to buy them.
What I do like is Michelangelo's Bill Murray hair. It makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Like, Michelangelo with a receding hairline is kind of funny.
It's, I kind of like it. They make me laugh, and they'll look good on shelves.
Listen, they're toys. They're silly. The Proton Packs look really good. The accessories they come with are really cool. They all come with
good.
They all come with ghosts from the movies. I think there's like a library ghost and a terror dog, and so why the hell not? We're living in like an age of so much Ghostbusters. Joker Alien's a thing NECA's doing, so why not have Ninja Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
No, in all honesty, I like them. One thing that the Ninja Turtles figures that, like the WWE Ninja Turtles figures and the Ninja Turtles 2 figures that were exclusive to Walmart, they have the same packaging as what these Ninja Turtles Ghostbusters figures are going to be. And they look so good. The packaging is really well done. They display well. And it's awesome, man. We're getting so much Ghostbusters. But we're going to, later on in the episode, we're going to cover a rundown of all the other Ghostbusters stuff coming out. But my verdict is they're a little silly, but if I had the option of living in a world with or without Ninja Ghostbusters figures, I pick with. They're not hurting me.
Yeah,
I don't want to live in a world where there aren't Ninja Ghostbusters action figures. So there you go.
It's something that people have made like customs of forever, and when Ninja Turtles, like the original Ninja Turtle line, got to a point where they started doing silly crossovers, and there was a Ninja Turtle Star Trek crossover where they did the same thing with those like actual characters, and it like these toys make sense with what that toy line has done in the past. Right. And it's 2 things we really like. Like, yeah, they look a little weird, and maybe if we were making them ourselves, we would have made a couple different choices, but we weren't making them ourselves. Somebody else did, going to buy them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like you just said, there's a precedent for it. It's not like
There's always been a nook and like an intermingling and crossover between those two for like nostalgic purposes.
Yeah, Ghostbusters and Ninja Turtles are like that's if when someone's like, hey, what's your podcast about? I'm like Ghostbusters and Ninja Turtles, basically. So now. One thing that would be really cool is if all of them came with hoverboards. I'm just putting that out there. Like, might as well get the whole
throw it in there, right?
The whole mix there. So yeah, really cool that they announced those during the panel. There's no real footage from inside the panel, but from all accounts on Twitter and everything else, people were really excited when that announcement came. What I want to know is when Ivan Reitman's looking at the screen, I wonder what he's actually thinking, because I have a feeling he's like, what the fuck am I getting? What have I gotten myself into?
Yeah, I want Ivan Reitman's like actual deep thoughts, like a Twitter feed of just like what he's really thinking all the time.
Ivan Reitman's.
I want to get behind the khaki pants and the tennis shoes, and the blazer.
Me too. He's mastered that look.
His like judgmental thoughts.
I imagine Ivan Reitman, a comedic genius, a legend in Hollywood. He's made some of the greatest comedies of all time. He's created Ghostbusters with Dan and Harold, and now 35 years later, he's sitting at Comic-Con in front of 1,000 people who are screaming about Ghostbusters Ninja Turtles action figures. He's probably like, what the fuck am I doing? Right. But it's all good, man. It's really cool. But let's get into the chunk of my stress and probably one of the main topics we're going to be talking about.
It's chunky.
It's chunky.
It's getting the chunk. Hey, I saw the Chucky car the other day driving around. We've talked about it on the podcast.
Abby saw it.
Yeah.
Remember I talked about it a couple weeks ago?
Dude, yeah.
It's so stupid.
I wanted to follow it.
Anyways,
it's very cool.
we're going to follow it.
Don't follow it.
Don't. I feel like something weird would happen.
Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ivan Reitman was asked about the future of the franchise as far as movies go.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
He stated that they are deep into production on an animated feature, and alluded to the fact that the studio is trying to have that movie release and coincide with the 35th anniversary, which is 2019, 2 years from now. Not a whole lot of detail further than that, other than it is going to take place. It's from the perspective of, this is the one thing they've said before, it's from the perspective of a ghost. I don't know what that means.
Everyone, I feel like we all assume that means Slimer. Like you'd pick the most iconic ghost, maybe.
Right.
Or like
that would be a safe.
Sense.
It'd be a safe assumption.
Because it sounds weird when you first hear that.
To me, what this is, all right, I'll give my opinion what I think this means. So one thing, he did another interview with the Empire Film Podcast and did confirm that Ghostbusters Ecto Force animated series was in production. They had a lot of interest from TV studios. They decided to put it on hold to focus on the animated movie. So, before we talk about anything else, let's assume that right now the plan is to have an animated movie out, Ghostbusters 2019. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's very cool.
The fact that we could be within a 2-year window of a new Ghostbusters movie of any kind, I think is a very positive thing.
It comes with all the bells and whistles. You get new merchandise and like all that kind of
right.
shit. So.
And there's tons of merch. We're not in a lull right now, and we were in a lull for such a long time. It feels good. It feels more tangible. When Ivan Reitman says it's coming, it feels a little bit more real than when Dan Aykroyd says it's coming.
Right.
You're right.
And
exactly.
I wanted to say that this week because on Facebook you saw a lot of the old school, been around the block Ghostbusters fans who've been doing this for a long time, kind of hemming and hawing with the old, we'll believe it when we see it attitude.
Yeah.
But I do want to say that, like, Ghost Corps is an actual, tangible production company specifically designed to release more Ghostbusters stuff. This is not Dan Aykroyd on a vodka tour.
This isn't next spring.
Doing a radio interview talking about how the script's almost ready. We're going to go into production next spring or next fall.
They booked this event.
Right. This is Ivan Reitman at the biggest pop culture event in the world, sitting in front of an audience saying the animated movie's coming, probably 2019. So to me...
Yeah, Ivan Reitman is not known to be... He's kind of known to be pretty blunt and not a bullshitter, Yeah,
exactly. And it's not new. Like, they've been working on this. Like, when we went to the trailer event in L.A., 5 months before Answer the Call came out, I point blank asked Ivan Reitman, and I said,
for a very nice buffet.
Oh, it was delicious. There was chicken.
Great spread, yeah.
Okay. I asked Ivan, I said, well, what's next? And he said, we're working on an animated movie. So this has been in production for a while. I'm sure it's gone through different iterations and all sorts of stuff. Hell, if Answer the Call would have been a box office bonanza, maybe it would have been an animated movie based on Answer the Call. But so they're saying it's from a ghost perspective. So let's explore that. I'll give my opinion, then you guys can chime in with whatever you want.
Mannequin Ghost, the movie.
Mannequin Ghost and Leslie Jones animated team up. I'd watch that.
I'd watch it.
I feel like what we're gonna get is an animated Ghostbusters movie that is about ghosts in the way that Monsters, Inc. is about monsters or Toy Story is about toys. I feel like we could be in the ghost world. The Ghostbusters will be characters in this movie, but whatever the storyline we follow is about a ghost. Mm-hmm. I think I like that.
How the ghosts get into our world, where they come from, like what trauma creates them, like what it's like on the other side.
Yes.
Why they scare us.
Yes. I feel like there's an opportunity for a really cool story to be told. Now, is it my ideal? No. My ideal is more live action movies.
Yeah.
But
I'm not going to act like that wasn't something that we were all hoping for.
But I kind of feel like, I don't know, if they announced, like, hey, the original actors are coming back to do voices in an animated movie, like, that would be amazing, but it seems like kind of a stretch. So, like, if they're going to do something outside the box, why not make a movie about a bunch of ghosts?
In high school.
In high school. To me, what I'm saying is, like, I'm not at a point where I'm willing to be like, well, that's stupid, or I don't like that. Like, I'm going to take an optimistic and positive approach and say, Sony Animation specifically has a really good track record. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs and the what is the Hotel Transylvania?
Yeah.
Like, those movies are popular, and like kids love them and adults love them. And you know, they've got the Emoji Movie coming out, which I don't know if it'll be any good, but it kind of looks like it's kids are going to love that movie. But they also have Patrick Stewart in it,
As
so
a shit emoji, right? And a lot of laser, right?
So I don't know. I kind of like it. I'm cautious.
For kids, for adults, cautiously optimistic.
Yeah. Here's one thing I'll say. I think it is important for the brand of Ghostbusters for kids to be bought into it. Mm-hmm. I don't think Ghostbusters can't just... Like, if kids didn't like Star Wars, we wouldn't be getting more Star Wars movies. Mm-hmm. Right? So,
right.
I think kids have to know and love and want to see Ghostbusters. And if in order to get another live-action movie, we have to kind of rebuild the brand with something a little bit more safe, like an animated feature, I'm okay with that. Mm-hmm. That's my stance on that.
Yeah.
That's my Ray stance on that. I could have said more. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Whoa.
Is there more?
I'm trying really hard.
Venkman? It's over. Okay. Mm-hmm. Jake? Abigail? Thoughts?
No, I agree with you. Like, you know, it seems at first, like, when I first hear, like, they're going to do an animated feature, the first thing that pops in my mind is it kind of worries me a little bit because I don't follow a whole lot of animated movies, and I don't know, like, a lot of the animated movies that come out for kids they're either Disney movies or they're new things, you know, like, they're just, so it seems weird to be like, let's take Ghostbusters where there's 3 movies and cartoons that kids these days don't know about and make an animated feature. I'm not saying that kids won't like it or not want to see it, but it almost like, it's almost a little scary. It's like you wonder how well it will do, and if an animated movie is going to make as much as a live action would, because I don't know if the built-in you know, the people that are who are super into Ghostbusters, if they're all going to go see an animated movie,
right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if that audience is like, if we're going to be relying on a whole new audience to make the money here, mm-hmm. or if everyone who's a Ghostbusters fan is going to go to the theater and watch an animated film.
Or they're assuming that parents will drag their kids in to see it, but also they'll offer something that the parents will enjoy a little bit too, and with brand recognition. But yeah, I mean, I was obviously hoping for live action announcements. I think everyone was. So there's that feeling of like, is this like not a downgrade? You don't want to say that, but like somehow like a step below getting a follow-up. But again, it's like that feeling of like, at least we're getting something at this point. We'll pretty much take anything. But the point that you're making, Jacob, like mostly those animated movies are either like brand new concepts. It is weird to see something like, there's like Batman animated movies, but that's like a separate, those aren't like big theatrical releases.
Those are usually like
direct to
TV
Netflix or TV or whatever. So is it untread territory? Like,
well,
it's a little nerve wracking. I get it.
It's a little nerve wracking. Here's a couple things. One, Ivan Reitman in that Empire Film interview did say that the animated movie will take place in a universe that was built on by the originals. So basically, what he's saying is, whatever this is, we're gonna see Venkman, we're gonna see Stan, like the Ghostbusters that we know and love will be in this movie. Mm-hmm. That is my prediction. It's based on the original universe. When we talk about cost of an animated movie, I brought up the two that I mentioned. So Hotel Transylvania, on an $85 million budget, made $150 million in America, and then another $210 internationally. So that's an example of an unknown, like an original Sony animated movie
property, right,
doing really well. Same with Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, $100 million budget, made a total of $243 million internationally. So Sony has a track record of being able to make a movie at a reasonable budget, an animated, like a CGI animated movie, and those movies do well. You would have to think, Ghostbusters being such a recognizable brand, if the movie's even pretty good, I know we said this last summer, that was a whole different thing.
Yeah.
I think they could be, I think that there's less risk in an animated feature right now.
If it can just be certified fresh, we'll be okay.
No. I mean, I think you could see a $100 million Ghostbusters movie making $300 million, and then everybody around the world will go, hey, look, Ghostbusters is back. It's successful again.
Yeah.
They should get those guys that just got fired from Star Wars, who made the
Phil
Lego
Lord and Chris Miller?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
They're doing the animated Spider-Man movie for Sony.
Oh.
So they have a relationship there.
Oh, yeah, that's cute. They should get a gift basket from Ghost Corps.
Yes,
that's a great idea. Us, actually, but
say
leave the note from them. It'll be just like Clueless with Mrs. Geist. It's a great idea.
But we'll spell core wrong.
Yeah.
And it'll be a dead giveaway. From Ghost Corst? What is this?
We gotta set them up.
2019, Sony has a couple animated releases kind of penciled in. July 26th, I think, and then Christmas Day. To me, I do not want to see summer release Ghostbusters. I want to see Christmas Day Ghostbusters animated movie. Bring the whole family.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ghost Christmas Pass.
Cool.
Ghost Slumber Pass.
Jesus. He's
Gotta
Ghost.
bring him back. Hey,
yeah. So cool.
He's like, I've been back, y'all. Because I'm fine.
Hey, sorry, I dig Jesus' style. I think that's where we are. That's where we are with the animated movie. So we can read into it. We're going to be talking about it a lot going forward, but there's not a whole lot else there. The other big piece of news that all the websites picked up on was they did like a Q&A session at the panel.
Yeah.
And somebody asked, gosh, I don't even know how it was brought up, but basically the question was, would they consider doing digital recreation or de-aging of characters similar to what happened with Rogue One? And kind of to everyone's surprise, Ivan Reitman was like, yeah, that's something we've talked about. And then he said the word hint. He said hint. Everybody kind of took that as, oh, cool, they're bringing Egon back.
Yeah.
I kind of don't take it that way. But that's what they ran with. Like, all the stories, Hollywood Reporter, everyone said, new Ghostbusters movie to possibly feature digitally recreated Harold Ramis. When Ivan Reitman said hint, I kind of took it as, hint, we're thinking about it. There's a hint.
It doesn't eliminate the rest of the cast or single out Harold Ramis's or Egon as a character.
To me, where I thought was, oh, cool, maybe they'll have a Ghostbusters movie that takes place sometime after Ghostbusters 2, and they can digitally de-age, you know, I don't know, Dan Aykroyd or Bill Murray. Not Ernie Hudson, because he looks the exact same.
Yeah.
But
That's true.
I don't know. I think it's just dangerous to all of a sudden just be like, oh, cool, Egon's coming back. What does everybody think of that? Because it just kind of seems like irresponsible.
It's clickbait.
Yeah,
which is why they're all reporting on it, right?
It's exactly what it is. It's clickbait. Yeah, it's exact. People are blowing it out of proportion, and I think the movie's so far out. I think there's no. I mean, it's so far out. They probably have a couple loose ideas of like, hey, maybe we should do something like this, or maybe we should do something like this. Nothing is set in stone. There's no script. It's just meetings right now, probably. You know, it's probably just like, hey, you know, we could do this. Mm-hmm. We could use that technology. I don't think they know. I don't think they know.
As far as a live action Ghostbusters movie, we're at a minimum, the bare minimum, 4 years away, if not longer. They're probably, like Jake said, they're taking meetings, they're brainstorming, they're probably talking to different writers, hearing different pitches, trying to figure out which way to go. But what Ivan Reitman said in the Empire interview was that basically you're constantly second guessing yourself when it comes to going with a live action movie, because these movies they cost hundreds of millions of dollars to make, and they're big studio tentpole films, and we saw what happened with the last movie. And they're going to tread lightly. They're going to eventually do another live action Ghostbusters, but let's face it, the brand can't afford another like swing and a miss. Mm-hmm.
Right.
So it's going to. They're going
to make sure whatever happens is right.
Yeah.
They're going to try to anyway. They're going to try to.
Having said all that, since everybody else is talking about it, and Abby, I'll throw to you first.
Yeah.
What is your opinion on having Harold Ramis possibly involved in some capacity, digitally recreated in a film, animated or live action?
Well, I'm going to default to what his daughter, I'm going to hopefully remember what she said. Violet Ramis said, I think she tweeted out that she's basically like, that's fine, but you can never really capture his spirit. Like, I should probably look at the quote. Basically, like, that you can't, it can't be translated.
Right.
Anyway,
she basically, to kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Take her words and say them differently, but mean the same thing.
Yeah.
Paraphrase.
Mm-hmm.
Summarize. That's the word I'm looking for. She basically said Harold Ramis brought something, an intangible that you can't recreate. The spirit, the laughter.
Computers can't capture, right?
Exactly. So, right. And basically what she said was like, I kind of think, what would my dad think? And it all boils down to, if it makes sense and it adds to the story and it's well done, sure, there might not be any harm in it, but we're not going to actually have Harold Ramis. Mm-hmm. And I think everybody understands that. Mm-hmm. Having said all that, is that necessary for a Ghostbusters story going forward?
Depends on the story. It depends on Egon's involvement as a character, and if it's done tactfully and if it's done and it's well executed, then I'm all about it. Like, why not?
Right.
So.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I kind of feel the same way. Jake?
Depending on the story.
I agree. Right? I feel differently about having Egon in an animated feature as to trying to put him in some sort of live action. Like, if they do something animated, first of all, I feel like we probably won't get all of the original voices anyway.
Right.
So it's like, it's different. It's like, it's a cartoon. It's going to be other people doing the voices. That doesn't seem off to me. Mm-hmm. But if you're going to do a new movie and try to CGI Egon somehow and get someone else to try to sound like Harold Ramis or whatever, that stuff, that's when it gets like questionable. Like, that's when it gets a little weird. And I know they did that in Star Wars with Tarkin, but you know what? I feel like I didn't care as much because like I maybe wasn't as attached to that actor or character. Mm-hmm. But it's like, I know this is like a double-edged thing, but it's like when you think about it, like it seems like it could be off. They would just have to be very careful on what they do. I'm not saying it couldn't be done, They would just have to be
Right.
very careful about how they approach it.
Right.
Right. I mean, the technology's there to do it and have it look good. And like 5 years from now, the technology, like it's becoming more of a common practice. I mean, you've seen the de-aging a lot, like in the, with
Kurt
Kurt
Russell,
Robert Downey
right,
Jr. Like Troy said on the crossrip today, the new Irishman, the new Netflix movie, Robert De Niro is going to be playing a 30-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
So the technology is there, but when you're talking about bringing back an actor who's already passed, who was very much a main character, like it's the equivalent for a Ghostbusters fan. It's the equivalent of, do we bring back Carrie Fisher, or if something happened to Mark Hamill, do we resurrect a young Luke Skywalker or whatever?
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. If they do this, I don't think they're going to be like digitally recreate Harold Ramis at 68 years old. Like, I think we'd be looking at either a flashback, or maybe he's a ghost, or that's a whole nother level of like weird meta.
Yeah.
But the thing, like, I usually hate this. Like, it's what they would have wanted. This actor would have loved it. But you got to think that Harold Ramis would probably be amused just by these conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Because just the way he kind of viewed the world.
Yeah.
He'd probably have some sort of weird metaphysical take on it that none of us would be able to even... We'd be able to comprehend it, but we wouldn't be able to figure out how he came up with it.
Right.
So it's interesting that we're talking about it. It's like I talked about last week. We're in a much different place a year out of Answer the Call than I thought we were going to be.
Definitely different, right?
Like, I thought we were going to be like, when's that Answer the Call sequel coming? And we're more like, yo, they might be bringing back Egon.
Yeah.
Like, is Bill Murray going to do that? Are we going to do it? Like, I mean, let's face it. This, the proton packs that we're seeing come from
Spirit Halloween
store, they're not reboot packs. You know?
Yeah.
Right.
And the Ghostbusters Ninja Turtles figures that are coming out, those are the original characters.
There's no new figure. Yeah.
And so I think we're going to see more of an injection of the classic universe as we go forward. Mm-hmm. What that means?
Same.
I don't know. So Ghostbusters is happening. It's moving forward. We could go on about it all day, but let's face it, guys. We got a lot more to cover as far as Comic-Con goes. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Yeah, it's like 4 days.
It's 4 days of
It's a lot of
stuff.
stuff.
All of the Ghostbusters stuff happened Thursday. It's like the first day. So there was a lot of trailers released over Comic-Con weekend. And some good, some amazing, some not so great. Mm-hmm. Let's start with Stranger Things.
Some we're watching. Some we're trying to watch leaks of.
Yeah. Some not even released.
Some people are.
Yelling at our screens because like people were standing up at the trailers that were being filmed illegally. Like, yeah.
You know what? I want to say this.
I want to
say this.
Well, let's start with this.
So, okay. What? Start with what? What I'm about to say?
Whatever you say, we're starting with.
That's what we're starting with.
Okay, we're going to start with it. I just want to say something about DC here. Okay. Because usually the trend for Comic-Con, the stuff they show, the footage that pretty much across the board, the footage that gets unveiled at Comic-Con usually does not hit online right away. It's always something that's saved. Sometimes it's saved for a very long time. I talked about it last week with Godzilla when they showed the Godzilla trailer. It was months before that shit hit online.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's just something that they know. Like everyone who goes to Comic-Con, they're like, yeah, we don't show that shit to people. But DC is like, no, we gotta show it. I feel like everybody else is laughing at DC. They're like, look, they put their shit online already.
Right.
They really are desperate for everybody to see how good their movie is.
Hold on, something just.
Hey, spoiler alert! It's not.
Hold on. I think we're good. There was we're good. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
I think it was the Flash coming through.
Yeah,
and grabbing Jake and being like, "Fuck you, man! I'm funny."
Now we have to
watch
leave
me
that.
do some funny juggling stuff.
Holy shit! That's seriously. That was like the scene out of.
That was Ben Affleck leaving the entire DC universe. He's so sad.
God damn it, Jake. I don't know. Did
Yo.
you hear the crazy noise that happened?
No,
You
I did
didn't
not.
hear it. When you cut out, it sounded literally
Like an alien that swallowed you whole.
Like in Batman vs Superman, when the Flash came through the screen. Okay,
Yeah.
so Jake, I agree with you. I feel like that Justice League trailer was online before the Comic-Con panel. Like they got that shit out.
It went up. It went
They're
up
like the guy
immediately,
that
and it's like a
calls-
4-minute trailer too. It's like 4 minutes
Right.
long.
They called the day they get the number from the girl instead of waiting 2 days. They're like, hey guys, no. Do you remember me? We just met a DC trailer.
Yeah. So I agree, and I thought about since we're gonna talk about this, there used to be a lot of value. All these people would come to Comic-Con, right? And then they would do the Marvel panel and the Star Wars panel, and there was value in giving the people that attend these panels exclusive content. It was like, we're gonna, by standing in line and for Hall H and getting in here and coming to Comic-Con, you are going to see content that is exclusive that nobody else in the world is going to see.
Yeah, reward your investment.
Right. But
Right.
now it's gotten to the point where the leaks are really bad. People feel entitled to see every trailer, and I fall into that. I want to see it all.
Disney's playing whack-a-mole with the Marvel Avengers.
Yeah.
It's like, take it down.
Yeah, it's a total how much money and investment is Disney having to put into just tracking the Avengers trailer and taking it down every 5 seconds
I just
offline?
wanted to see it.
So really, to me, when we were at Star Wars Celebration, we all saw the trailer, but we were in that room. And being in that room and sharing that communal vibe, to me, that experience, that is the exclusiveness.
Yeah, you can't put a price tag on that.
No matter what, I can sit at home and watch the Stranger Things trailer or the Justice League trailer or the Star Wars or Marvel and watch it all day long. But there's nothing like watching it in that room with a couple thousand people for the first time. So this is just me telling Marvel to please put the Avengers trailer up because, you really should. You really should.
You really should, because I didn't get to see everything because somebody kept standing up in front of the person who was filming it.
Not that we'd ever watch
Not
it.
that I would ever do anything illegal.
They love
I would
it,
never
though.
take a purse.
They want everybody to be clamoring for it. They want it. They're gonna wait a while. They don't.
Yeah.
They know that they don't need to put it out there. They know we want it. They know we're gonna love it. They know that everybody who's seen it has. It's different than with DC. DC is hey, please like us again. Please like what we're doing.
They're so needy.
DC's
Marvel
hey,
was
Wonder Woman, that was fun.
Hey guys,
Wanna
remember
have some
Wonder
more fun?
Woman? Let's just top load the trailer with a lot of Wonder Woman, which was the best part of the Justice League trailer.
Why don't we run down these trailers one by one?
Trailer talk.
Trailer talk. Justice League.
Bam.
Let's quick thoughts. We can quick hit this because I know we're going to get to Stranger Things and we're going to have a ton of stuff to talk about. Justice League. I think it looks like shit.
Yeah.
I think
the Wonder
Same.
Woman stuff is the only good-looking stuff. Aquaman might be interesting or halfway decent to look at.
That
but,
guy who plays the Flash is annoying.
Oh, I can't stand him. Give me Tom Holland all day long, please. Yeah,
Love it.
I can't stand the Flash.
Wait,
And there's-
as the Flash too.
As the Flash.
As the Flash. Yeah, get him in there. He's great.
He great.
Guys, he's got enough charisma. Yeah, it looks like a giant steaming piece of shit, so I'm worried.
To me, it looks just like Batman versus Superman.
Batman vs Superman.
Yeah.
It's weird because
more shitty characters in it.
Maybe next week we can dive a little bit more into what DC's actually doing because they're gonna have Flashpoint and all this other stuff. But I can't deal with that right now.
Let's just talk to Ben Affleck.
This is what came out of Comic-Con. This was the sequence of events. Ben Affleck might be leaving the DCEU. Justice League trailer. Batman says, "I'm not leaving." I still think he's leaving.
Mm-hmm.
I think Justice League will be the last time we see Batman played by Ben Affleck.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my opinion, but I guess we'll see. Ben Affleck's not going to get on a Comic-Con panel and announce that he's leaving or that he's been fired. So, Justice League. What do we want to do? 1 to 10 or star ratings? What do you guys like? How about 5-star ratings? I give it 1 star.
Yeah, I'd give it a half a star.
Or 1.5 stars.
1.5 stars. The Wonder Woman stuff.
I got a half a star when Wonder
Yeah.
Woman popped up. Okay. 1.
I got 5 stars when Wonder Woman showed up, and then it went down to 1.
Okay, 1 star. So Justice League does not look good. Okay, cool. We're all in agreement. I like that. It's like a communal. It's like we're on the same page.
Yeah, stars. Give us stars.
Cool. Ready? Well, let's do Avengers. Leaked Avengers footage. Did we all see it? Quote
Boner
unquote?
Town. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that I
take me
saw
there.
all of it. I'm not sure. I know I saw a piece of it, but I don't think I saw the entire trailer.
Well, let's wait on that until we see an official trailer.
But it feels like the Olympics.
Okay.
Like, it feels like everybody's there, and it's big, and it's spectacular. And
Like-
it feels...
Yeah, what I saw
there's
seemed
like a
pretty
sports
insane.
event.
Yeah.
Like Bob
Yeah.
Costas is going to be announcing,
Like, what the fuck is
welcome to Avengers Infinity War.
Yeah.
Let's join the middle of the action. Thor's just hanging out with the Guardians.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
a lot going on. Is all I'm saying.
I never thought Bob Costas would be brought up on this podcast. You guys are like, what the fuck are you talking
Not sure. Sports announcer.
about? All right, thank you.
It's good.
Ready Player One.
Mm-hmm.
I did not read the book, although I downloaded the audiobook today.
Mm-hmm.
People seem pretty excited about this one.
Mm-hmm.
Abigail, what'd you think about the trailer?
I mean, it didn't, I want to say I'm super pumped. I saw that James Gunn said that he was super pumped about it. I like that Freddy Krueger pops up, but I, don't love hard sci-fi, dystopic, futuristic, cold. I'm going to say hard sci-fi again, because that's really what is the definition of that stuff. And, I guess it's whatever. It might be kind of cool to watch. The trailer didn't excite me like the rest of the world, so maybe that's one of my stresses this week. I'm not
Do you want to go back and edit the show?
I've watched the trailer twice, and I'm just meh. So that's how I feel. But I know that a lot of people are super pumped. I did not read the book either, so. But it is Steven Spielberg, so who knows? It could be amazing.
Hey, that DeLorean looked good.
Yeah. Definitely, lots of cool stuff in it. I'm sure it will be awesome, but I don't have any interest I haven't no investment in it, so we'll see as further stuff comes out if I'm more excited, so.
Jake?
Yeah, it looks cool to me.
No, you're good.
I watched the trailer twice as well, and I also don't really. I'm also not exactly sure what's happening. I don't really know. You don't get. I'm not really sure what it's about. Especially there's tons of references to old stuff in there. There's just so many other weird characters. The Iron Giant is in there. It looks like Deadpool is in there. The DeLorean, fucking Stephen King's Christine is in the trailer. It's all kinds of weird shit. But yeah, everything's in there. But I mean, it's Steven Spielberg, and I bought the book, and I'm gonna try to read the book before I think the movie doesn't come out until February. So yeah, I'm gonna try to read the book, see what it's about, and I'm excited. I'm excited mainly because it's Steven Spielberg. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know the book is just tons and tons of references to 80s culture. From what they're saying, that what we saw in the trailer was just tip of the iceberg. So it's going to be a nostalgia factory. We're all going to. I don't think people like us could enjoy or could not enjoy this movie to a certain extent. I've been burned by Spielberg before. I do not like War of the Worlds, and I was pumped for that movie, and I walked out feeling very upset.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that we all
weird
host the pop
feelings about that
culture
movie.
podcast that
It was
we all host this pop culture
Splinter that
sci-fi
pushed itself out,
podcast.
all the Scientology bullshit.
None of us have read the book. A lot of people have read the book. People who read the books seem pretty stoked on the trailer. So I'm gonna give my thoughts on the trailer. Seeing Freddy Krueger, the DeLorean, all that stuff, obviously that gets you pretty hyped. I'm gonna say 3 stars. 3 out of 5 stars. That's my rating.
That's fair.
Yeah. I would agree. I'd probably say it looks like a 3-star movie, but my excitement level is kind of low right now. So,
Okay, fair enough. I mean,
maybe I'll read the book.
I kind of feel ripped off because I feel like I wrote some fan fiction a while ago called Freddy vs. DeLorean.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
It didn't pan out.
It didn't pan out.
Got it.
I'm trying to claw my way back into it.
Oh God.
Jake probably just quit the podcast.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm done. Done with that one.
Jake, how's that pizza?
I mean, I'm just smelling it right now. It's smelling pretty good, man.
Hey, smells are free.
Jake's like,
I'm not gonna eat while I can't eat while we're recording. I don't want to be one of those podcasts where there's weird noises going on.
Yeah, I'm not gonna stop and make a sandwich in the middle of the podcast.
Hey,
yeah.
I've thought
Not
about
butter,
it.
no toast over here.
No way.
Toast butters.
Toast butter.
All right, cool. Right. What else? I don't want to talk. I'm trying to bury the lead. I don't want to talk about Stranger Things just yet. What else do we
got
get?
another Thor trailer for Ragnarok. It looks good.
Thor still looks good.
Yeah,
really
Their
good.
palette
trailer.
looks insane.
Yeah.
There's like funny belly laughs
Talking
and all that
Hulk.
kind of stuff.
I like that the
Yeah,
Hulk's
dude.
talking.
There's like obscure pop music that I like that I don't know like who it's by, and that's good because that feels like Guardians of the Galaxy. So the soundtrack sounds good.
Yeah, there's a lot of references to one of the things that they're doing with this Hulk movie, or not Hulk movie, Thor movie. I wish it was a Hulk movie.
Yeah.
That's a little weird. And I think they're doing this because Mark Ruffalo came out this week and was like, "Look, there's never going to be a standalone Hulk movie," and the reason for that is because Universal owns the rights to a standalone Hulk movie, and they're not playing nice. Like they don't want to make a deal with Marvel, which is stupid because you would think they would look at what Sony just did and be like, oh, maybe we should make a deal and let them make a fucking movie. But they're not. So Hulk can't have his own film. And I think a lot of people who are big fans of the Hulk really love the World War Hulk book. And it's amazing. It's the best Hulk thing. If you ever just read one Hulk storyline, it should be World War Hulk. And that's kind of what they're doing. They've kind of taken a lot of the things from that and putting Hulk on a planet where he's stranded and he's like forced to battle. Like that's straight out of that book.
Arena style.
And he even like,
that's cool.
There's even like, if you can look at pictures from this trailer where like they've like shortened Hulk's hair and he's wearing these like weird necklaces and stuff. And like, that's all straight out of the panels of World War Hulk. So
that's cool.
It's like they're trying to do that storyline without actually having to do that storyline. So
right,
and that's cool. That's what's got me excited for Thor. Like I've always liked the Thor movies. I like the first two, but Hulk I think is the best Marvel character. Like to me, he's the best Avenger, and he's what I want to see more of. So it's cool that they're like throwing in those storylines that are specific to that character in another film.
That's cool.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think like the whole vibe of this movie looks so much better to me than the last two Thor movies. This feels more colorful,
comedic, playful,
it
psychedelic, tripped out.
It's kind of safe to say, or not, I don't want to say it feels like Guardians because it doesn't, but it feels more cosmic and it feels more like
it's got a fucking aesthetic to it.
It does,
like
it
a
really
style
does.
and swagger.
Yeah.
So yeah, you would say it does feel
it's
like
definitely
Guardians.
different.
Attitude.
I also read that this movie is going to be the shortest of all of the Marvel movies so far.
That's interesting.
That's fine.
Yeah, I read that.
It's
it's
20
under 2 hours or something.
It's 14 minutes.
No stingers.
We've
short.
seen the whole movie. So yeah, I think Thor's gonna be great. I think that Marvel's on
He's got
a roll.
a haircut.
There's a new Black Panther footage. I don't think they released online, but apparently that was, blew the house down.
Well received. Cool.
They made some announcements about Captain Marvel. It's going to take place in the early 90s.
Oh, I love that. I'm so excited.
The big news was Samuel L. Jackson is going to have both eyes in that movie. Because it's a prequel.
It's early, yeah. He's good.
So nothing can go wrong for Marvel yet. They're going to make one eventually that's like, oh, that was bad news.
You think?
No, but it'd be funny if they did.
What's the worst one?
I think everybody has opinions, and I mean, there's a lot of Marvel films at this point, and I don't think they're all great. And I mean, there are probably some people who think some of the ones I think are good who don't, But so I don't know. I don't think everything. I think they're pretty. I think it's weird because like even the bad Marvel movies are still pretty good, and they're still
like
better
pizza
than
or sex.
they're still better than like the Amazing Spider-Man. So
right. I feel like Civil War is not as good as people like. I don't like it as much as some people do. Like I like it. To me, it kind of runs on a little bit. The battle at the airport's really cool, obviously, and meeting Spider-Man and everything. But like
the Vision stuff was kind of like.
Yeah, I feel like I like
Civil War. I had issues with Civil War just because I mean, I think this the second Captain America movie, like Winter Soldier, that movie is amazing. Like that, I think that is one of the best. And Captain America has never been my favorite of the Avengers. He's never been one of my favorite characters, but that movie is amazing. Civil War, the thing that I don't like about Civil War is that the big conflict and the big thing that everyone talks about is the airport battle. Yeah, Black Widow. It's the airport battle. And yeah, it's really cool to see Spider-Man, but besides that fight holds no fucking weight to it. It's all, nobody's really fighting. You know what I mean? No one's trying to hurt each other. Mm-hmm. It's just like, it feels like a training exercise. You know what I mean?
They even say that in Spider-Man, he's bragging, or Spider-Man or Peter Parker's talking about how he took on Captain America, and Iron Man's like, if he wanted to, he would have basically destroyed you.
Exactly. And it's just like, it's fun to see all those guys fight. Like, it's fun to see that because it's not something you see a lot. But it just didn't hold any, like, the emotional weight of the movie is Iron Man fighting Tony Stark later. Like the other fight scene towards the end. That's the stuff that's like, that's the emotional stuff.
Right.
But I just feel like that movie got a little overshadowed by, oh God, all of them are fighting each other.
Right.
Yeah. And didn't Black Widow have like a love storyline kind of with the Hulk and all that?
Kind of. Yeah, they're kind of going that way with it, I think.
Yeah. Oh, because I was just thinking of Age of Ultron, which I actually enjoyed Age of Ultron more than some people. And I like Iron Man 3 more than most people. So, like Jake said...
I hate the movie, yeah. I hate it.
Right. Fired. I think that we all have different opinions. Guys,
yeah. You know what? I hated it, but I would watch it right now. Like, I would watch it again. I would give it a second chance.
You know that old saying?
Still better than Suicide Squad.
Oh, well, that's saying.
I agree.
You know what they say.
Opinions are like podcasts. Mm-hmm. Everybody has one.
Yeah.
But you should probably listen to this one.
You probably give them all 5 stars.
Yeah.
5 stars.
Okay, cool. So, should we do it? We've been teasing it. We've been kind of getting y'all worked up.
Alternating.
Stranger Things. Not season 2, just 2. It's a sequel. Mm-hmm. It's a 10-hour sequel.
Yeah.
I love that.
I'll do,
These guys, these duffers.
Dude, these brothers.
These brothers, man.
They know what's going on.
They dropped the new trailer for Stranger Things Season 2. We had already had one trailer, so this is the second look at it. Wow.
Dude.
Where do you even start?
Straight up chills. I swear I have watched this thing like 5 or 6 times. I watched it like simultaneously with my brother while he was watching it. We were like live texting each other feelings, and it made me laugh because his reaction was kind of the same as mine as soon as it started. He was like, dude, Vincent Price, that's great. Which I was like, I kind of thought the same thing. I did not recognize that was Thriller because Michael Jackson is like not a part of my childhood, so the music that was used like kind of was lost on me. But
homeschool
again. Yeah, both my brother and I were homeschooled. So
that was the first time you ever heard Thriller.
Yeah, no, that's the first time.
Oh wow.
No, dude, not at all. That's not true. But like, I didn't pick up on that because that's from the music video or whatever. So like, I didn't necessarily like get that at first. But dude, the fucking trailer was amazing, and I am so excited for this next season. It's not a season; it's a sequel.
It's a season.
It's a season.
Yeah, we saw a lot more. We saw 11. We saw
not till the end.
Not till the end. But let's talk about what we want to talk about. Guys, we got some Ghostbusters stuff going on in season 2 of Stranger Things.
Yeah,
exactly.
We saw them in their jumpsuits. They had
It seems as if they have actually trapped something in their homemade ghost trap, and that's amazing.
Dude, right.
Why does that trap look better than like half the shit we see at conventions?
Right? It looks so good.
We see Dustin like approaching a trash can with his Neutrona wand like drawn.
Right.
Like it's so. I almost feel like it's not real. Like it's something we created in our heads that came to fruition. Yeah. Because as we watch Stranger Things, like when Stranger Things first came out, everybody fell in love with it. It was like, oh my god, this is great. These kids are awesome, and look at the movies they like, and they like Dungeons and Dragons. Like it was all this great stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like at times we're like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if like they were into Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
And then that image comes out, we're like, holy shit, they're wearing flight suits. Did we put this out into the universe?
Right, and then there was that part of me that was like backing down, like, oh yeah, but I'm sure that's just like for a Halloween dance. That's what I told myself. I was like, oh, it's just gonna be like one episode, whatever. But it seems like a legitimate link and like a theme throughout the show. Like this is, I feel like it doesn't even feel real. It's really surreal to see it, and like it's very exciting to think that I literally asked the entire day off of work, the 27th of October, like in prep, so I can watch the whole thing like as soon as it comes on Netflix.
Yeah. And like I want to be cynical, right? Like I was the one like when Westworld was going on, being like, yeah, but it's not that good. Like I was that guy, but like I love Stranger Things. I love those kids. I love all the actors. I love Winona Ryder. She's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I love the fake Christian Slater and whatever his name is.
Yeah, the brother.
And I love that they're all going to be in.
Steve Harrington's hair is amazing.
Oh
Always.
yeah. God.
Dude, he like prances off with his sweat towel in the alley.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Wonder what's up that sweat towel.
Dude, it's great.
And I mostly want to know what they have in that ghost trap.
Dude, for sure.
Yeah.
So, 5 stars, 10 stars. I don't know. I'm more excited. Like as far as movies,
whatever
TV,
the fuck's going on outside, like all the red and blue, like lightning and thunder and the monster and that.
Oh,
shit
there's like a new monster. I want to see what that monster is.
And that shit at the arcade, like,
well,
oh
let's
my
talk
God.
about it a little bit. So it kind of seems like they're implying that Will Byers is somehow still kind of stuck in between the Upside Down and the real world.
Right.
We see 11 kind of coming through the like a portal of some sort. And how do you guys? So if they do use Ghostbusters as a plot device, I mean, how far do you think that goes? I mean, are we talking like? I don't remember who was I talking to. John? I was talking to somebody who was like, "Holy shit." Will's the keymaster and 11's the gatekeeper, and I was like,
yeah,
is that what they're doing?
Right?
Like, I started getting so excited.
Maybe, yeah.
Like, and then I was like, wait, they're like 12. That's a little bit weird. Like, can we call them something else?
Maybe not that.
I don't know. Do you guys think that horse that Louis Tully talks to is going to be in Stranger Things season 2?
God, like, I hope so. That's the monster.
So Ivan Reitman talked about Stranger Things. What an asshole. Ivan Reitman talked about Stranger Things during the panel that we mentioned earlier, and he talked about his love and like adoration for the show and how they worked closely with them on developing some of the stuff for season 2 as far as Ghostbusters goes. And he said you're going to see Ghostbusters Easter eggs throughout all 10 episodes, and they're doing some really cool stuff. And to me, I'm like, as a Ghostbusters fan, sitting here in 2017 almost, thinking about that level of detail going into.
Yeah, I made like an involuntary grunt when you said that, like the noise I make when I eat ice cream. I'm really excited.
Guys, Stranger Things is it will be the most talked about event in pop culture this fall. And knowing that Ghostbusters is a big part of it makes me all kind of happy inside.
Yeah.
Makes me super
Yeah.
I'm super excited.
And it could also do a lot like it sucks that we're even having to have this conversation, but like right now Ghostbusters is in a weird place. And a lot of people I know a lot of people liked Answer the Call, but a lot of people didn't. And a lot of people are blaming it for, maybe destroying the franchise or just whatever. But this show is a popular show. People like it. People love this show. And now it's going to kind of bring Ghostbusters back a little bit in a way that we need it to be back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's going to get people excited about Ghostbusters again. Even people who aren't even like hardcore fans of the movies. They'll be like, look at this. It's going to make people want to go watch Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
I mean, the first season made me want to watch Goonies, and it made me want to watch Stand By Me, and it made me want to go back and just watch E.T.
Yeah.
And they asked the Duffer Brothers, Patton Oswalt narrated at Comic-Con the Stranger Things panel, and they kind of asked the Duffer Brothers, what was your motivation? What was your idea, your inspiration for the show? And they were like, we wanted to see Steven Spielberg directing a giant Stephen King novel with John Carpenter doing the music. And I was like, holy shit, that is what Stranger Things is. Mm-hmm. It does not feel like, Abby and I talked about this, maybe Jake, you were in the conversation too. What makes that show so special is it doesn't feel like it's 2016 or 2017. Oh, I said it's almost 2017 earlier. Guys, it's almost 2018. It doesn't feel like the kind of show where you're watching it and you're like, okay, this feels like it was made now and it's a nice throwback retro show. it feels like a show that was made then that we just never
and it
saw.
was lost or something in time.
Yeah, it feels like it was made in 1984. And that's why it works. Like, it does not feel of today. The aesthetics are right. The actors are perfect.
The set deck, the costumes, the soundtrack, all that shit lends itself. So.
It's perfect. It's
and
so
the fact
good.
that all the kids act like kids, like in every Steven Spielberg movie, like that's one of the distinct qualities where it's like, oh, their banter seems real and it feels real.
Right. They're kind of like talking shit to each other, but they love each other. It's good. So Stranger Things 2, it's going to be coming up on us real soon. I kind of don't want to watch any more trailers. I kind of just want to know what I know now and just wait for it. But obviously, if they release more, I'm going to watch them because I have no willpower.
Yeah.
What's the date on that? What are we saying?
October 27th.
October. That's not that far.
I think it's that same weekend as Spooky Empire, and I feel like what it's going to be is the three of us in a hotel room with the laptop hooked up, just binge watching Stranger Things.
Possible, yeah.
Maybe we'll live tweet it.
Yeah. We'll get some Chinese food.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Some pizza.
And I know we joked earlier a couple months ago about the Duffer Brothers possibly directing a Ghostbusters movie or writing a Ghostbusters movie.
Who's laughing now?
But yeah, they already did it.
Yeah, they did it.
No, I think that they are extremely qualified in doing, and they said that they want Stranger Things to go 4 or 5 seasons. They're just now planning the overall story arc, and I think that we're in for a real treat. What's going to be funny is as the show moves on and it takes place in different years, like this one takes place in 84, maybe 87, 89, like what other stuff will they borrow from? Like, are we going to see Stranger Things season 6 takes place in 1993 and they're all inspired by Ace Ventura or something like that?
That'd be amazing, yeah.
Like, Caleb's like, we got to go back to the Upside Down. It's imperative. Alrighty then. I like that idea.
I don't know if I'll watch that one.
That'll be good.
No, I could see Men in Black. Like,
it just moves on forever. Like, the final season of Stranger Things is directly tied to Limp Bizkit. Like, oh my god,
man, they did it all for the Nookie.
That's why we're doing this. We're doing this for the Nookie.
I thought we liked waffles.
Could you totally see them doing the It thing and flash forwarding, and all of a sudden they're like adults?
Oh, that'd be weird, wouldn't it?
I could totally see them doing that.
Yeah.
Of course that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, once the kids age and, like, whatever. Yeah. Although, I have so
There's
much
5 kids on that show. 2 of them are going to be crazy looking.
Yeah.
Right?
I feel so strongly about the cast, though. Like, I feel like child actors today have it, I don't know, somehow better than... like Brat
better than
Pack,
Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, Jonathan Brandis, like some of that stuff. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's better these days.
Well, they're definitely doing better than Jonathan Brandis.
They're all doing better.
Why?
Why do we do that every
Why?
time? You have to stop.
Why do I say these things?
Let's make a note.
I'm not. I don't care.
Not.
I care, but they are.
Just be careful.
I'm trying to be careful. What I'm saying is, do you get jealous and stressed when you see Finn Wolfhard hanging out with the It cast?
Oh, when I see him liking Harley Quinn Smith's pictures on Instagram, and I'm like, God, I want to be both of them. And yes, he's so cool. What do you think he smells like?
How did that guy man?
So cool.
How do you think that kid man? He's actually super dorky. How did he manage to get into these 2 properties? Like, how did
he's like a decent human being.
I don't care about that. How did he figure out how to do this? How did he figure out how to be in Stranger Things and in It?
I don't know.
Like, maybe is he going to be in the new Top Gun as well?
Maybe he got cast in It because of Stranger Things.
I
don't know how far along. Yeah.
God, you're right.
Yeah.
Because if they didn't cast him, that girl who plays Millie Bobby Brown would have probably ended up playing Bev, right?
I don't see her as that.
Really?
But I guess if you're going hot commodity and like.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I
don't see
I'm
it.
sorry. I just tapped into your Bev stress.
I'm sorry, Bev. Yeah, back off.
Back
don't worry
off,
about
Bev.
her so much.
You're worried about Bev?
Yeah.
Well,
if you read it, then you would know what I'm talking about.
Hey, I wouldn't worry too much because the director came out this week and he has confirmed that the infamous scene that I keep bringing up is not going to be in the movie, and for a good reason.
Yeah.
Duh. Nobody's got time for that.
Don't need it.
Obviously.
Don't need it.
Don't need it.
She don't need it.
She don't need that.
She don't need it.
Well, cool. What else? Oh my God. You know what I just realized?
What?
We haven't talked toys yet.
I know.
Oh, I don't even know
It's
if I have
the
time
worst
to
part
have
of the
toys.
weekend.
There's so many toys.
All right, let's do a quick rundown.
toys.
We can expand further next week. I'm
Okay.
sure we will. Ghostbusters. We talked about the Ninja Turtles. We've got Hollywood Collectibles Group doing 1-to-1 scale props.
Got a trap?
displayed it. They got a trap.
Mm-hmm.
They got Ecto goggles.
Goggles, yep. Way more
They look-
accurate than those Maddie goggles that came out.
Well, I think the Home Depot goggles you could buy are pretty accurate compared to the Maddie.
Yeah.
Burn.
Burn. Good answer the call quote.
Thanks.
Doesn't she say burn at some point?
Probably.
Guys, that trap looks
Outtake.
really, really good.
It looks great. Yeah, I want them. I wonder, are these going to move and have lights and sound? And
I would think so. Yeah. I
yeah.
bet.
Yeah.
I mean, Hollywood Collectibles Group, they do other props, but not they've done batarangs and that kind of stuff, but not like a functional.
This is kind of a big thing for them.
That kind of a thing. I'm assuming they'll be expensive. They look really good. We'll put up pictures in group therapy.
They're probably heavy.
They're probably heavy. But yeah, they look amazing. And they were kind of unexpected. Those were not announced beforehand. So they just kind of debuted those at the show. Very cool. Blitzway.
Yeah.
Can we talk about it?
Oh, boy.
Ooh, hey.
The Crossrip this week talked about the Blitzway Ecto 1, the 1/6 scale Ecto 1
It's
for a while.
huge.
They were trying to guess the price point. Do we want to take guesses on how much this thing's going to cost? It is beautiful. It's 3 feet long. So one thing that's funny, Troy and Chris were both like, who's going to be able to afford this thing? Who's really going to have this thing? Guys, we're all getting it,
Yeah,
right?
we're all getting it. It's like payment plans. You save, you sell,
God
you flip.
damn.
You do what you can.
How much is it going to cost? It can't be more than
$1,200.
It's got to be $1,500 or $1,200, right?
Okay, we're doing
15
prices right. Showcase.
15
showdown?
seems like a lot. I think I would guess maybe around $1,000. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
The Hot Toys DeLorean
15 is so much.
The Hot Toys DeLorean is $700.
Right.
So based on that,
how big is that?
Well, it's the same scale, but the car
the
is
same scale,
probably
but
twice
smaller.
the size.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think $1,200. That's my guess.
That's what I
Okay.
said. So
That's Abby's guess.
it's Abby's guess. We're all going with it.
$1, Drew.
Yeah.
Is that? Do I win it if I'm
Yeah.
close?
You think you're smarter than everyone?
The figures are the 12-inch figures are about $225 a piece. So you're not gonna have a car that costs $4,000, right? The running joke was everyone's like, "How much does it cost? $4,800?" Like, yeah. I think $1,200 to $1,500 is a safe bet. I don't think Blitzway does payment plans, so that's a thing. That sucks.
Man.
No way I'm buying that thing.
You have to be responsible.
Well,
budget.
The stores that sell it, like Big Bad Toy Store, you can do a pre-order. You have to usually put down a down payment of some sort. But I wonder if, for something like that, if they would do a payment plan through one of the stores. Guys, we gotta get it. We can't not get it.
We gotta talk to him.
It's a 3-foot
negotiate a
Ecto.
deal.
It really rolls and everything. I'm gonna get in it.
We're
I'm
getting
gonna get the top
I bet
off
I
it.
could get in it.
All joking aside,
I wanna try.
It looks beautiful. It's fucking amazing, and it kind of goes back to what we've been talking about this whole episode. It's a good time to be a Ghostbusters fan right now, even if you're even if you can't afford it, just that it exists, it's a good thing.
It's good to have.
So,
Toys. A lot of good toys.
God, I kind of feel like we need to move the NECA stuff to next week. We're at
I'm
an
so
hour
tired.
40 right now.
I haven't eaten.
Oh, are we? Shit. We
Yeah.
can do that. We can do that.
Why don't
we
we
can cut
save-
it?
Why don't we save the NECA talk for next week?
Yeah, we need to see some movies too, you and I.
Yeah, we got to
We're
catch
behind.
up. And they debuted a bunch of stuff, but I did want to finish up with the Ghostbusters stuff. Besides the Blitzway Ecto and the Hollywood Collectibles Group, let's finish up with this. Diamond
Okay.
Select. They had on display the Firehouse diorama that's going to be coming with the new line of Select figures.
Oh, it was so cute.
It looks so good.
Totally with the earmuffs.
They did a good job. They got a whole new line of Ghostbusters 2 figures coming out. They announced that they're doing real Ghostbusters figures.
Nice.
Yep, that's going to be cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
Based on the
excited
cartoon,
about
not
that.
the Kenner toy line.
It's really cool, man. It's just it's good that it's even a consideration because that cartoon's been off the air for 30 years. Mm-hmm. So the fact that they're doing it means that people want it, and that's exciting. Yeah, that's exciting for me. Mm-hmm. So the first line is going to be coming out in the fall. It's going to be Vigo and 2 of the other figures. I think maybe Lewis and Slime Blower Winston, maybe Ray. I don't know. Yeah. They've got 15 figures coming out. We're all excited about that Janosch figure. Oh, yeah. But the thing I was really impressed about was the Ghostbusters 2 sign that hangs off the firehouse. Mm-hmm. They did an awesome job.
I like that.
Yeah.
Jake, you going to be buying those?
Yeah, I'm going to try to get them. I'm behind on Diamond Select. I don't even have all of what's out now. And I gotta pick those up.
But you should have entered our contest.
I gotta get back on track.
Did you enter the Diamond Select giveaway? Did you win?
Man, I did, but like I didn't win.
No. Maybe next time.
A bunch of
you gotta try harder, Jake. To enter these contests.
Yeah.
You gotta enter more.
Cool. So we'll wrap it up here. Next week we'll continue our coverage, Fallout feedback. We'll have the It trailer.
Hopefully I'll have a Ghostbusters 2 flight suit.
You'll have a flight suit,
Intact.
Avengers trailer, possibly, probably not. And we'll talk about all the new NECA toys and whatever else is kind of... I mean, we're in that...
New It trailer?
Yeah, we're in that day and age of rapid-fire news, and there's a lot to cover, so...
It's ADD culture.
Yeah, who knows?
Very overwhelmed.
There's a lot going on. Anything else before we sign off, guys?
Nah, man.
No, I think
Don't
we're
lock
good,
yourself
man.
out of your house. If you do, bring some books.
Did we mention really quick, the Spirit stuff?
No, yeah. So Spirit Halloween, I think we kind of mentioned it earlier. Spirit Halloween, another surprise release. They're putting out an awesome little Slimer. It's like a rubber Slimer you can hang from the ceiling. Yeah. And they're putting out an electronic proton pack, an affordable...
Good looking.
It looks good. Like, it's a really... For a Halloween costume or for a kid, or if you want to buy a 3/4 scale proton pack and like mod it, put a different ribbon cable on it.
Yeah, the next time somebody messages you and it's like, hey, I want a proton pack, but I only want to spend $100, just send them the link.
Yeah, good. You only have to spend 70. No, it's great. And I know I keep coming back to this, but a lot of people were on Facebook complaining about this proton pack, and I'm like, guys, shut up.
Yeah,
like,
it's a toy. It's literally a toy.
It's legitimately a toy. It looks better than any other replica proton pack that's come out. It's not a reboot pack. It's based on the original movie. And it spreads the word of Ghostbusters. You're going to walk into Spirit Halloween and you're going to see more Ghostbusters stuff. Man, the world's moving on, man. Get on that Ghostbusters train.
Yeah, get on that ghost train.
Get on the train because it's happening.
Yeah.
Don't complain so much, people. We don't, do we? We complain on a podcast, not on Facebook.
Yeah.
We bitch and we've built a platform for ourselves to complain. We don't use social media.
Complaining.
We record.
No, we don't just broadcast. We do actually broadcast.
We do broadcast our complaints. But our complaints are valid. We don't complain about new Ghostbusters products. Product is product. So there. Product is product. That's the name of this episode.
That's it. That's a good one.
So we'll get pictures up. I mean, here's the thing. Everybody's seen all this stuff. We're just kind of recapping it. But go to Facebook.com, search Yes Have Some Group Therapy, join our discussion group there, get in on all this stuff. Tomorrow's going to be crazy with the It trailer.
Yeah.
People are, it's going to be fun. We're going to have a lot of fun.
We'll talk about it.
Facebook.com/YesHaveSomeCast. Find us on Twitter and Instagram at YHS Podcast. And of course, search iTunes to find Yes Have Some Podcast. And please do not forget to leave us a 5-star review. It helps us more than you could ever imagine. Anything else before we sign off, guys?
Guys, how many hours till midnight?
We're almost at 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's going to happen soon. This trailer might drop tonight.
The trailer could be out right now. We don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Jake, enjoy your pizza?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
All right, man.
It's good.
We'll talk to everybody next time. We'll be talking toys, Ninja Turtles, all sorts of good stuff. Until next time, my name's Craig Goldberg for Abigail Gardner and Jacob Walsh saying, hey, if you're stressed, don't worry, because that's just dessert backwards.
Whoa.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah. I read that on the internet today.
Good.
So.
Good job.
You are too stressed to be blessed.
All right. Bye, everybody.
I'm going to take this.
Later.
All right.
Bye.